Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the Super7 Ultimates Thundercats Tygra. Now, as we can see, the figure comes with that slipcover box, utilizing a really great metallic image of the Thundercats logo. Removing the slipcover, we can see that the figure is showcasing the standard window box packaging, surrounded by its multiple interchangeable parts and accessories. Turning the box around, we can see a great artwork of Tygra, and at the bottom, a short bio for the character. So with the box out of the way, let's go ahead and crack this figure open and let him breathe. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at the Super7 Ultimates Tygra. Now this is one I've been particularly waiting for because I love the Thundercats, and I'm kind of cherry picking this line. I want to just pretty much create the, I want to collect all the cats, the Thundercats team. That includes people like Linkso and things like that, but I do want all the cats. And this is just, he was one of my favorites. I only had 3 from the vintage line, which was Lionel, Panthro, and Tygra. So I have a special connection to Tygra, man. He was one of my favorite ones. I think he was the only one that lasted the longest from my childhood. So again, super happy that I picked this one up. Now I think Super7 just did a great job with the look overall. That head sculpt is awesome. I love the little lines coming under the eyes, looking really nice. It just has that, again, that classic Tygra look. The tiger stripes in the hair look really nice. All the white at the bottom looks really good too. And for the most part, the paint looks good through and through for the figure. I love the different shades of like blue and teals and things like that. The gold right there, the feet look good. The hands look really nice too. The tiger stripes all look really good. I love the nice T-Cats logo right there at the center. That looks really sharp. And a little bit of gold right there on that little sleeve like that. I love the asymmetry of Tygra's whole look. Now what I'm going to complain about, like I said, for the most part, this figure looks good. The paint, man, the paint is just irritating me like crazy. Like there's some misfires here. You can see kind of where his sideburns are. It's missing some of the white. It didn't quite connect all over there. On this side, it looks better. On this side, it just doesn't quite go all the way down, so I might have to touch that up myself. It does look a little soft here in the face, but nothing terrible. You can see some paint smudging where it didn't hit the red on the emblem like that. You can see that. On everything else, it looks pretty good, but under the bottom here, it kind of looks a little terrible, so I'll probably have to scrape some of that off. But this is what bothers me the most. How they took like an orangish brown color for the abs, and then in the back here too, to give it some shadow. That is, I don't know who decided to use those color tones, but as an artist myself, that does not look good, and you should never use an orangish brown to shadow any type of blue like this, especially a pale blue like this. It just comes off as looking dirty and not airbrush shadows or shading the way that they intended it to come off. So honestly, that looks so ugly to me. Again, like look at it just like that. Does that look like shadows to you or shading? No, that just looks like he's dirty, like he has a dirty stomach. Same thing with his lower back here. It just looks like he has a lower back and he has a poop stain going down his crack right here. I don't like that at all, man. So chances are, I'm probably gonna try and just remove that and hopefully not ruin the figure, because I'm pretty sure all these areas are casted in that lighter blue, so it shouldn't be such a big deal. But I just don't like that. It looks so gross. And then kind of like with the arm here, this is me more nitpicking. Like when you bend the elbow here, you can kind of see some of the oranges peeking through. I kind of wish this was casted in that blue, but again, not a big deal. That really doesn't bother me too much. So other than those issues, I think overall he looks great. Again, I love the T-Cats logo. That head sculpt is fantastic, and he just looks like an incredible Tygra figure. So now moving on to accessories here, we do get interchangeable hands. We got the gripping hands. We got these more like open palm curled fingers hands. They have a little claws on them. I think that's really cool too. You get those for each side, which I really do like those for like stylized posing. You get different types of gripping hands. So you have ones where he holds his weapon a little more up and down. And then you have these ones right here where are tilted a little more forward. So if you want to hold the weapon tilting a little more forward, you do get those as well. Again, one for each hand. We of course do get his whip accessory. Now I love this because it comes in 3 forms here. So you have it just like that, and I think the gold looks very nice. I love how they did that. You have the 3 balls right there coming out. I think that's just a super cool look. I always loved his weapon, man. But what I do like, and I think it's super impressive, we get this giant whip right here with the handle like that, looking awesome. And I'm gonna bring this in here and you can kind of just see how huge this weapon is if my camera would actually decide to focus. There you go. But you can see how big that is compared to Tygra, and this is super awesome, man. Now, I would have preferred this be a really cool long bendy wire. That would have been my preference. This is in a static position, so you can't maneuver this around, and this probably could break, so just be very careful. But it doesn't feel cheap, it doesn't feel flimsy or brittle, so you can kind of, you know, bend it around and things like that. It's not going to snap on you right away. So this still looks really cool, and I love this. It is impressive. But what we also do get, we get one with an actual like nylon rope here that attaches to the 3-prong balls at the edge, which this is solid plastic. Now these are just tied on, but I think that's really cool too. I love that they did this so you can get a little more of your own styling on. Again, I do wish these were on a bendy wire, but giving this gives you a little more options on how to pose him with the whip, so I think that's really cool too as well. And now the last accessory that we do get, we get an alternate head for Tygra, which is more of an angry head. Again, if my camera would decide to focus, there you go. That looks really cool too. The paint on this head actually feels a lot better than the standard head. The teeth look really good, so I love that a lot, man. The tiger stripes on the top look really good. The white at the bottom looks a lot more solid than this one, where again, the paint feels a little more softer here. This one on the angrier head looks great. So I love this stuff, man. So you get a ton of good stuff that works for Tygra, in my opinion. I think he just looks awesome. All his accessories are great, and I really love those whips. Now moving on to articulation, if you have any of the ultimates, you pretty much know what you're going to get. The head is on a ball bag, but it kind of rolls around very barely, left and right mostly, up and down barely. He does kind of have some long hair there, so that's going to hinder the articulation a bit. Arms can go all the way around in full 360 like that, like so, up and out, rotate at the bicep, single bend at the elbow, rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. Ab crunch back and forth, swivel at the waist. This is a bit of a softer plastic. The whole crotch piece here, as you can see, it is a separate overlay, so we can kick up and forward that far. Back, not so much. Splits out all the way, which is really nice. Rotation at upper thigh. We get a single bend at the knee there. It also actually does rotate at that knee a little bit. It does rotate at the boot. Ankles go up, down, and a sweet ankle rocker. So overall, again, I have my issues with it. Mostly going to be the paint. I think that's my biggest issue, and that he could hold his weapons very nicely. I will say, especially with this particular one, since this is a pretty heavy, long accessory, the wrist is a little loose. I wish that was a little tighter. That is something that I have been complaining about with Super 7 for quite a while now. Luckily, this one has nice tight hips. I know that's kind of been a thing with Super 7 figures, especially in the Ultimates line. But for the most part, he's actually really good. Super happy that I picked him up. Again, one of my favorite characters, and definitely a must get. So for a quick size comparison, here's Tygra standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and Mafex Batman figure. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to the Super 7 Ultimates Lion-O and Panthro. And just for fun, here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Super 7 Ultimates Thundercats Tygra. Now, overall, I think this is a beautiful figure, and I think Super 7 did an amazing job with the sculpt. The paint looks really good for the most part, with a little bit of smudges here and there. I think my biggest complaint is going to be the airbrushing that they did on his abs and then on his lower back. That just looks awkward and kind of just sloppy to me. It doesn't look good at all, in my opinion. Now, that's just me. Again, that's my opinion. However, the rest of the figure does look really great. I love the orange of his fur and head sculpt, the tiger stripes, the different shades of blues and teals and turquoises all look great. I absolutely love his whips. Again, I do wish he came with one with a bendy wire, but that's just me. The ones that he does come with are really cool, really well done. And again, he does have fairly tight joints, which tends to be a common complaint with Ultimates figures. He's a lot better than most that I've seen as of recently too. So I do enjoy him for that fact. And again, it's just one of my favorite Thundercats characters. It's so cool to get an updated version, and I cannot wait to complete the entire Thundercats team, as they're going to look all amazing next to each other on the shelf. So be excellent to each other, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.